This is the moment I've been working for since I lost my parents on October 7th. And I forgive the Israeli Prime Minister for sacrificing my parents and so many of my childhood friends, but I won't forgive him regarding the future. If there will be no reconciliation and healing process between both people and within each society, it means that we are only waiting and preparing to the next war.
There is finally hope for the two-year-old war to end in Gaza. Israel and Hamas are exchanging prisoners and hostages while bombing has paused across the Gaza Strip, something unbelievable just weeks ago. To talk about the developments today, I have with me Maoz Inon, someone who has been tied to the war in an unfortunate way. His parents were killed by Hamas on October 7, 2023, and since then, Inon has become a voice for peace and reason between Israelis and Palestinians. Mr. Inon, thank you so much for taking out the time to speak to Hindustan Times.
Thank you, Ananya. It's a great pleasure and honor to be with you on your show.
I can see you smiling, so let me first ask about the kind of emotions that are running through your mind on a momentous day like today.
Ananya, I'm both smiling and crying in the same time. This is the moment I've been working for since I lost my parents on October 7th, to stop the war and to create a new reality of peace, of reconciliation for both people. And I always believed that this day is gonna come and it's gonna happen. And now our work as peacemakers has only started, because there is a long and very difficult and challenging journey ahead of us, a journey of healing, a journey of recovering, a journey and curing our bodies and souls from the war and the bloodshed.
Mr. Inon, if you could tell us, what is the mood in Israel right now?
Yeah. So I'm speaking from Binyamina. It's a small town between Tel Aviv and Haifa, on the coastline of the Mediterranean. And I'm speaking from the same room where I spoke with my father for the last time on Saturday, October 7th, 7:30 in the morning. And this is the moment. This is the moment we've been waiting for the release of all the hostages, for the war to end, and for envisioning and creating a new path towards peace and reconciliation. And my son, my 17 years old son, just came from the hostages square in Tel Aviv, where hundred thousands of Israelis are celebrating. And there was also a beautiful sign on the square. There was the word peace was very prominent and evidence in the square today.
Also, Mr. Inon, we are hearing from the Palestinian families in the occupied West Bank that many of them have been directed to not celebrate or wave the Palestinian flags after receiving their loved ones. This is obviously in contrast to the visuals coming from the hostage square, as your own son would tell you. What do you make of this duality?
I make that from this duality that we must change it and bring it into equality. And as long as the Palestinian wouldn't be able to celebrate their own symbols, their own life, their own future, so the celebration in Israel will be short-term celebration. The only way to ensure one side celebration, we must ensure that the other side can share the same celebration at the same time. And this is exactly the work that we must continue now. And this is the work that is ahead of us.
And as optimistic as we all want to be, are you hopeful that this will continue, the peace process?
The most important lesson I learned after October 7th, and it was from my Palestinian partners, and now after working with so many of them, I can even say that I have Palestinian brothers and sisters. This is how deep our relationship is going. Hope is not something you can find or something you can lose or someone else will bring you, if it's the American president or someone else. Hope is an action. Hope is an action that we are creating together on the ground by envisioning a better future and acting in order to make this vision into a reality. So today, I feel that our work in the last 2 years is starting to produce fruits, but our work of to creating hope for both Palestinians, if they are in Gaza, if they are in the West Bank, is just more crucial than ever. And this is my commitment to you and to everyone that are listening, that we here on the ground, the civil society in Palestine, in Israel, is committed to create hope for all people between in Israel and Palestine, and hopefully it will also be adopted and scaled all over the world, because we know that the world is now so polarized, and the division is rising between nation, between people, within cities and communities. And we believe that by solving the century years long conflict in the Holy Land between Israelis and Palestinians, will have a ripple effect that have the potential to change humanity. This is how important this moment is. And there will be also still many downhills, and the extremists will try to sabotage this process, but we are very determined to continue working on this path.
As I speak to you, we're getting some live visuals from the Israeli Knesset, where the US President Donald Trump is, of course, there, and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is present. And one after the other, we are seeing a lot of standing ovations being given to the leaders who have been worked tirelessly in favor of this peace deal that we're seeing playing out today. During that, Netanyahu has also claimed victory for what we are seeing today. He has said that the military operation that has been going on for the past 2 years and his military goals are the reason that this deal has come to be. Do you agree with this sentiment?
I will answer a bit differently. What I
Mhm.
agree upon is only the future. I don't care. I don't care, and I forgive the Israeli Prime Minister for sacrificing my parents and so many of my childhood friends. As the Prime Minister, he was accountable for their safety and security, and he completely failed. But I choose radical forgiveness, and I forgive him. But I won't forgive him regarding the future. If from this moment, historical moment, he won't be able to create a shared, secure, and safe future for both Israelis and Palestinians, then I will judge him. But at the moment, I just want to focus on the future. And if
Mhm.
Trump pressure him to go to the Sharm el-Sheikh summit in few hours from now to meet what he refused to do for decades, to meet Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, and to meet Erdogan, the president of Turkey, and to meet the president of Indonesia, the largest Muslim country in the world. So if we will go there, he will prove that he can create a better future for everyone. So this is how I want to judge him, not regarding to what he have done or to my parents or to so many others, but what he will do in the future to ensure security and safety to all.
All right, since you speak about the future, let me speak about the future as well. Do you think that the Israeli government in today's form, with Benjamin Netanyahu leading it, but it also being the most right wing government Israel has ever seen, do you think in its capacity, is it capable of producing a peaceful future in Gaza?
The answer is yes. And it was November 1977, nearly 50 years ago, that the most right wing ex-terrorist Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, who was a terrorist under the British mandate, commanding the death and killing of innocent Brits and Palestinians, was welcoming Anwar Sadat, the Egyptian president, who only 4 years before, in 73, waged surprise war over Israel. And Menachem Begin said, after being in the opposition for 39 years, refusing and objecting negotiation with the Egyptian, he said publicly, no more war, no more bloodshed.
Hmm.
No more war, no more bloodshed. So I believe in each one of us as individual and collectives, and it doesn't matter if we are common people or journalists like ourselves, or we are politicians, we have the capacity to change our policy. And it doesn't matter how extremist and fundamentalist we are till the moment, we can change our policy, and I believe everyone can do it, including the extremists within the Israeli society and within the Palestinian society.
All right, Mr. Inon, it is believed that Hamas orchestrated the October 7th attack on Israel primarily to hold innocent people captive. And at a later stage, which is of course today, use them as bargaining chips to get the Palestinian prisoners back. While this sort of strategy cannot be justified in any sense in any world, one thing that comes out of the prisoners list that we have with us here, provided by Israel, is the oldest and longest imprisoned person, Abu Nama, part of the list. He's a Fatah member who was arrested from the West Bank in 1986. He was behind bars for 39 long years, and many believe that had there not been a prisoner exchange like today, he might not have been freed ever. I want to ask you, how do you get a sense of this?
I think this is a failure of the Israeli policy in the last 4 or 5 decades, that we are allowing the Palestinian to win only through violence and not through the negotiation room. So instead of 0-1 win-lose game, we need both people and both society to win. And the most important thing we can win is our life, our dignity, our equality. So it's again a sign for the Israeli failure in the last recent decades, and it's time to strengthen the moderate within the Palestinian society. President Abbas is only one of them, and to let them win on the negotiation room and not on the battlefield. And so it's a shame that it's been achieved in this way, because it's only strengthening, like you said, the argument of the extremist Hamas, which is a shame and a failure of Israeli policy. But again, it's that's the reality. That's the reality, unfortunately.
Mr. Non, I've been going through your past comments, and one thing that really stood out for me is how you tied Israel's security to how secure the Palestinians feel. Do you think this idea becomes very central to the region's future today, as we have been speaking about?
Yeah, I think, and again, it's not something that came to me in my dreams or just speaking to my family. And I have many political and deep discussion with my family. It's came through learning and being educated about conflict
Yeah.
areas and conflict resolution throughout the world. And you cannot achieve security to one people without ensuring security to the other, because then there is inequality and imbalance that is rooted within the relationship. And when there is imbalance within the relationship, it doesn't matter if it's between life partners, business partners, or nations. It will lead to to conflict. And conflict, if not being dealt through dialogue and negotiation, is leading to violence resistance. So I do believe that what the history is teaching us is that you cannot achieve security only through power, military force, bombs, or wall. The only way to achieve a lasting security is through peace and reconciliation.
All right. My next question might sound cynical to some, but there is a saying I've been going back to during this entire 2 year war. I'm quoting that quote. I don't exactly know who said it for the first time, but it goes something like this: you recruit for rebel groups each time you kill an innocent man. Close to 70,000 people have been killed in Gaza in the last 2 years. Over 1,100 Israelis have lost their lives. Unfortunately, this number includes your parents. Are you worried we could see another war in the future to avenge what has happened in front of our eyes for the last 2 years?
Yes, I'm worried very much, and this is what I'm saying. This is why our work as peace builder has only started, because if there will be no reconciliation and healing process between both people and within each society, it means that we are only waiting and preparing to the next war. And also in the recent 2 years, I was meeting European leaders and many European ambassadors who taught me that the vision behind the EU only a few years after the Second World War was that in order to prevent the next war, we need to make the enemies of the past into the partners of the future. So this is the mission that is ahead of us, to make Israelis and Palestinians into partners relationship and not into hate, separation, or fear. And so this is you. It's not cynical at all. I think you just nailed it. And this is the question that need to be asked by the civil society and by international community. How can we make Israelis and Palestinians partners in shared life, in shared future that will ensure everyone will live with equality and dignity. So it's very important, and this is exactly. I already had so many phone calls and scheduling meetings with my Palestinian partners, with my Israeli partners, and we are just going to scale what we have done so far, which was mostly aiming to end the war and to have a hostages prisoner deal. And now we'll resource all our time, energy into this so important reconciliation process.
All right, Mr. Maoz Inon, more power to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us at Hindustan Times. And from my entire team, all condolence to you and your family.
Ananya, thank you very, very much for amplifying our voices, for listening to us, and for caring for both Palestinian and Israelis. It means the world to me personally and to everyone around me. So thank you very much.
That's happy to hear, sir. Thank you so much.